Broadcasting across Canada and around the world, this is Shake It Up on Canuck Tunes Online Radio. Live from Hamilton's own pub, the Cat Fiddle, 174 John Street South. Today's guests, Eli Wells, Dave Rave with Carl Jennings, and Marcus Starr. Now, our host has realized it's no longer a question of staying healthy. It's a question of finding a sickness you like. Here is Famous Framus.
Thank you so much, Gary. And the sickness I like.
Love sickness?
Can we turn the house music off there, Ty, please? The sickness I like is Shake It Up Radio, because I'm addicted to Shake It Up Radio.
There you go.
And all the Denzians.
Denizens?
Denizens. And Denznians. How are you, my friend?
Very good. Very good. Another week in the bag.
I see we got another trade. We got a nice day, and now we got another miserable day in Gotham today.
Yeah.
A penguinish day.
Penguinish day, and then tomorrow's supposed to be like a good day. And
is
then
it?
Sunday, right in through Thursday. Right now, the report is saying rain, thunderstorms, rain, maybe a bit of rain and more thunderstorms.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, that's Hamilton for you. That's Southern Ontario.
Good for the dandelions, my favorite flower.
Welcome to Canada, folks.
Absolutely. Nowhere I'd rather be.
For the most part, the shovels have been put away.
Yeah.
So
mine are still laying askew all over the property, but all over the grounds.
No, but we have a friend in Espanola, just outside Sudbury, and they're still digging out.
Wow.
They got another, earlier in the week, they got another 6 inches or something like that. There's just like, yeah, it's nasty. They got trenches outside their front door of snow. It's insane up north.
If you're not talking about the weather, are you living in Canada or not?
No kidding. Or are you living in Canada, for that matter? Did
exactly.
You say that? Yeah. Never mind. Anyway, we're the Cat and Fiddle for another week. Shake it up. This is episode 85.
85?
85.
14 good ones.
No kidding. And we're still going
looking at
strong.
number 15, I think.
I think so. This will be another good one because, like I said, we have Eli Wells coming up shortly, Dave Rave and Carl Jennings from Freedom Train. Dave Rave, he's Dave Rave. So
Dave Rave is ubiquitous. He's everywhere all the time.
And
he's the multiverse.
And then Marcus Starr later on this afternoon.
Marcus Starr,
he's
yes.
got some great stuff coming up as well.
Yeah, Astronaut's record release is coming up.
Yes, yes, and he's coming in on his own, under his own accord.
Talented man.
Yes. So writer and songwriter and teacher and
hell
guitars.
of a slide player.
Yes, yeah, great guy. But as far as what's going on tonight here at the Cat and Fiddle, we have Lady Strange. They start at 9 p.m. And then tomorrow afternoon we have a matinee. That's the Bareback Riders. Everyone likes an afternoon rendezvous. Let's say
the Bareback Riders.
With the Bareback Riders. That starts at 3. And then Sunday the 12th we have David Kattenberg at 3 p.m. And David Kattenberg, he will be a guest on
this
an
is a new name in the rotation.
Yes, indeed. And he will be gracing our microphone.
That's
in the
great
next,
to see a
few
new
weeks.
name on the poster.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that too. Always great to see new talent. Of course, it's Fish Friday at the Cat and Fiddle. $15 for one piece, fries, slaw, tartare sauce, the whole 9 yards, and soup and half the Sammy for $10, and you get that until 6 p.m.
What a bargain!
No kidding.
I think I'll buy some.
So, of course, the big man, he showed up last week but bailed out, and he's not here this week because, well, he's not here.
But he's everywhere all the time too.
Yes. He's
yes.
a busy man. But we have Famous Framus here, and please welcome to Shake It Up stage, Mr. Eli Wells.
Lincoln, it's bad on gasoline. The driver's seat is filthy. The passengers is just pristine. Got leaky power steering. The wiper's stuck on low. There's a hornet's nest in the trunk. The yellow jacket goes where I go. Now we've all told some story of being on the road alone. Some of us were restless, some of us had lost our homes, but most of us are rusty, our headlights all burned out. Tuck to Monterey, whose yellow jackets swarming all about. My tailpipe rattles and my greenhouse is ablaze. The local DJ stumbles through some ad copy. and I ain't even seen another car in days. Why don't you stop and let me out of this jalopy? I got a glove box of cassette tapes, the ones I haven't heard. I save in case of heartbreak. I like getting hurt by pretty girls in case I ever break down. I save one for the rails. I got a 12-volt lighter in the dash. I punish myself whenever karma fails. 400 horses ridden hard and put up wet. I think this is where you say you lost me. The hornet's buzzing like a big old TV set. Why don't you stop and let me out of this jalopy? The DJ stumbles through some copy, and I ain't even seen another car in days. Why don't you stop and let me out of this jalopy? The yellow jacket goes where I go. The yellow jacket goes where I go.
Eli Wells, Jalopy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I listened to that this morning, and when I heard Tuk Tayak Tuk rhymed in there, I definitely put a red star at the top of your paper there as a lyricist right away. Right away, man. Great imagery.
Yeah, I'd like to get up there sometime. I've never really seen an ocean, so I thought it would be fun if the first one I saw was the Arctic Ocean.
That would be cool, man. And did you have jalopies in your yard out in Norfolk when you grew up, or
there was a car here and there that I have vague memories of.
Got to go play in when you were a kid? Nothing more fun than a car graveyard to play with
yeah, absolutely.
dangerous stuff and sharp edges when you're a kid, climbing around for sure.
Well, my parents were very protective, but yeah, I had to grow up and then get my own car and start messing around with it.
Get your own decrepit cars parked on your own lawn.
Right.
And so you can play with those.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Yeah, really dug that song. And we were talking just before air. You are quite a lyricist.
I appreciate that.
You take pride in that part of your art. Your music is it lyrics first for you?
Yeah, I think.
Are you a poet as well? Do you write prose? Do you write poetry?
No, I'm not that skilled as to not have the music as a crutch.
Right.
But I definitely. It's. I think you got to have your butterfly net open all the time and just waiting for some words to go in there, and then
totally.
And then screw around on the guitar a little bit and see if anything fits with anything. And
so you collect bits and.
Yeah, little bits of things
paper
here and there.
And
I got my little notebook and just little chunks that I refer to later. If I start getting something going on the guitar, then I'll go through the book and see if anything fits with it.
Then you start putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
See if you.
And it can come across sort of neurotic sometimes, but my next step is to try and write with a little more intention and write something more cohesive.
That's got a kind of a kernel of truth, or a kernel of humanity, or a kernel of experience.
Some sort of
have a through line.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey.
There you go, man.
Someone owes me a Coke.
Yes, and you've been doing that since.
I started kind of late. I started really playing guitar. I think I was 16 or 17. I was always sort of writing little bits of songs in the back of my mind for probably forever, but didn't really have the confidence to didn't think there was anything worth sharing until I was probably about 17.
Well, we were growing up with your dad, who was Duane Rutter, who's a very well-known and well-respected songwriter and player.
Oh, thank you very much.
And that could go two ways. That could intimidate the shit out of you or inspire you. And did it take you down both paths, or?
I think it did. Kind of. There's a parallel track there where it on that song.
Okay.
a few months ago.
So now it's kind of it's morphed into something different when you play it live.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I might record that one too.
Re-record it, yeah, sure. It's your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Painters paint the same thing over and over again, and it's a little bit different every
But
time.
sometimes I find, like myself, I'm a once we record, like I don't goof around and keep going, eating my tail in the studio.
Yeah.
It's a snapshot in time, even if, because we do all our stuff live off the floor, even if there's a little mistake in there, whatever, I'm good with it. Time to move on. It may change live and have a life of its own live, but I think songs can have two lives. It can have a life that's recorded, and it can have a life that goes on morphing into other stuff when it's played live, right?
Yeah, I've always thought of the art of recording and the art of performing as two different things. I know a lot of people really want their live performance to be faithful to the record, and I know there are people who feel that as an audience member, they feel a little slighted if the performance doesn't match the record. But to me, it's you have the tools at each point, and it's what am I going to do with the tools at hand?
It's an opportunity,
to make it right for this moment.
Absolutely, to pay different respect to the song. You can take it somewhere else in the moment, in the performance, and it's two skill sets too, because a lot of people, when they see the red light go on in the studio, they get the yips.
Oh yeah.
And some people, when they play live, they get the yips, but
yeah, and for me, and I'm definitely more interested in the record making part of it, but I'm weirdly the opposite, where I feel much more comfortable playing live than I do on a record.
Yeah.
And I'll do take after take after take. But you know what really motivates me is not having a lot of money to pay for recording.
Yeah. Financial motivation or lack of finances motivates us as well, for sure.
Absolutely.
100%. You want to hit us with another tune, Eli?
Yeah, sure. Why don't I maybe
Eli
I'll try
Wells.
to play that Woody Guthrie
Dave, do you
one.
know Eli's dad, Duane Rutter? You must know him. Yeah. The Hamilton Blues lovers know Dave. Don't know Duane Rutter, that's for sure. That's okay.
All right, I'll try to play that Woody Guthrie song for you. This is the new version.
The new version, all right. Right here on Shake It Up Radio. Eli Wells, everybody.
Thank you. I dreamt I saw Woody Guthrie get shot. It must be all those westerns I watch, and all the talk of the brand new fascists and our broken down machines. You've got a hell of a scene. We're out here playing the hits, plug our shit and split, say la propos. Your singer's letting me down. When her voice is loud, it's rococo. The bar was dark and the stage wasn't tall. You could still see his boots at the end of the hall. We're bereft of song, we'd entreat the jukebox, but no record could be spun. Upon entreating our lungs, we found that no song could be sung. Not a note, not one, but for the ringing of a gun. And a 60 hertz hum. Your singer's letting me down. When her voice is loud, it's rococo. The singer's letting me down. When her voice is loud, it's rococo. Then the old men came with their books and their pens, 'cause they saw that Woody looked just like them. But these hacks have no respect for meter, and they don't know how to rhyme. They think it's always their time. We're out here playing the hits, to get our drink tickets, say la propos. Your singer's letting me down. When her voice is loud, it's rococo. And when the morning broke, the air was ravenous still. But the daylight showed all the spaces to fill. And I have the will, but I have to wonder, where is Woody Guthrie now? Your singer's letting me down.
Woody Guthrie.
Thank you very much.
Eli Wells. Woody Guthrie, version number 2.
Yeah, number 2, yeah.
Right on, man. Are you a reader?
I'm trying to be, not as much as I should. I have a very bad habit of picking up a book and getting, like, reading it diligently halfway through, and then I'll pick it up or put it down one time and then just not pick it up for a while. But sometimes I always find myself reading really heavy stuff, and I'll get to the end of a book and I'll be like, okay, I gotta process that, and then I'll take months, and
you gotta let it cook for sure. Yeah,
that's like me.
You're sorry, Gar?
No, I was gonna say that was just like me. I get to the last page and like, damn, I gotta wait for next month's issue.
Yes, exactly. Well, comic books are heavy, man. There's a lot of those panels, you know.
Well, the artwork, never mind.
The bubbles in the panels, and then the panels in the bubbles.
Don't get me started.
It just seems to me that your lyrics are quite literate and.
Yeah, I'm trying to do more narrative stuff lately, and I'm trying to. When I was a kid, like, I always wanted to be a fiction writer, and I've been trying to come back around to that.
Was there stuff you were reading at the time that wanted you to take that path? Or
when I was a kid, I wanted to be Stephen King. That was like my thing.
Yeah?
I really wanted to write horror, and I think that comes through in. There's a lot of songs where I that sort of have a horror element to it, like Woody Guthrie getting shot in the bar. Like, that's, for some reason, I think I'm a pretty pleasant guy, but that's where my mind seems to go.
That's how you exercise the beast, by writing about.
Well, when something like that comes to you and it feels visceral, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I have to admit, I did steal a lyric from the first song. I stole a lyric from the Satanic Verses.
But you did credit it in your
in the lyric sheet. Yeah.
Yes, you did. I thought you were going to say, I have to admit that I did murder one person.
I have to admit, I did kill Woody Guthrie.
Port Rowan, and there's a lot of sand out there, and nobody needs to know. And they were sick anyway.
Info doesn't get in or out of Port Rowan, so I knew I'd be safe. Yeah.
I love Port Rowan, man. I used to spend a lot of time down there, down at Long Point too. That's that's where you grew up? That's where you're from originally?
Yeah. We lived in the same house my whole life, just right by, pretty close to the causeway, like 5 minutes from the causeway.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent a lot of time just hanging out on the beach.
Wandering around in the reeds.
Yeah, in the bulrushes.
Yes.
So, yeah, I used to go out to the Long Point Company with my grandpa, which is, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like kind of like a village on stilts that was built for like a hunting company back in the day. And so we'd go out there for a few days and then go out fishing. And I feel that's...
Sounds idyllic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's quite a part of me, and I think it influences my sound a little bit.
Right.
In the more rustic qualities of what I try to do sonically.
Yeah, well, you so when you are near a body of water, you are at home.
Yeah, I've never really been away from water, and ironically, I can't swim. But I feel like if I wasn't, like if I ever couldn't go 5 minutes and be able to see water stretch to the horizon, I think I would be quite unhappy.
Right. Just don't go in it.
Exactly.
Yes. That's, how do you go to Long Point and you not know how to swim? That's another story altogether.
I don't know. I guess I was just afraid of drowning.
Well, it's sort of like playing guitar. Instead of using your wrists and fingers, you use your whole arm.
Yeah. Maybe it was the upper body
madly.
strength.
Flail away. Flail away. That's great, yeah. And it was, did you start playing in and around that area when you first picked up? Did you start hitting open mics? What did you do to take your stuff out?
Yeah, we
to
didn't.
The world.
We didn't really have any open mics or like places for like young songwriters to come up. That, or at least that I was aware of at the time. There's lots there now. Now that I've left,
Yeah.
they said
It's like wait for Eli to leave.
yeah. Now that he's gone,
now
we
let's get
can-
a scene going.
without him coming around. But I started playing in high school with a guy named Jackson Shot, who is, do you know the Shots?
No.
They're a bluegrass duo.
Oh.
And so their son, Jackson, played drums, and I wanted to start a band. And I was more into rock music at the time. I wanted to be Arctic Monkeys or something.
Oh, yeah.
And his parents live in a dance hall.
They live in a dance hall.
Yeah, near Langton, which is, it's very, very rural. And so we would go after class and just, I would bring in my songs and we'd work on the arrangements. And we had a 2-piece band, and we did a bunch of shows in Norfolk, but it wasn't the sort of stuff I do now. It was, at the time, the only shows you could really do were either like metal shows
Yeah.
or pop punk, which...
Really, in Norfolk, yeah, metal or pop punk.
Yeah,
Interesting.
or even going out to the cities or whatever. That's the only shows we could find. And Jackson was a big metalhead, and I like metal too, but like doing that, I got a lot more into it in the live setting. So it was...
You were playing guitar?
I was playing guitar and singing.
Were you metal shredding? Were you just like...
No, I never had the skills for
you
shredding.
You were metal riffing?
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
I tried to... Strumming, yeah. It had some metal influence, but it was quite bluesy as well.
Right.
It was like it had the Americana tinge to it because like just because of how I grew up.
Americana bluesy metal.
Yeah, I couldn't escape that. So it was it was an interesting combo, and I think it got us some attention there because it was never like the other stuff that we were playing alongside.
Like we were saying before, it probably informs you to this day because your stuff is not easily boxed up and packaged in a bin.
Yeah.
You know, like
I've always liked more like harder styles, and then sometimes I'll go in the complete opposite direction. But there's nothing I've been exposed to that I won't take
a piece of it and build your own. Yeah,
absolutely. Why not?
That's what we're doing around here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to hit us with another tune, man?
Sure. I think that's a good lead into Bull Rush.
Bull Rush.
This is a song kind of about Long Point. If it's about anything, which I'm not totally sure it is. I'm going to take one more sip of my coffee.
And this is the title of your first record that you put out, right?
We put out an EP. We were working on the LP, the Big Heirloom, and it was taking a while, and I wanted to just put something out. So the producer, Brent, who is in the band Goreworm, a metal band, he's a metal producer.
Oh yeah,
he produced that record, and he also produced this acoustic EP, which you can find on Bandcamp, the Bull Rush EP. Because I just wanted to put something out.
For sure.
He had never done anything like it before, and he got such a beautiful acoustic sound that that's I feel is very close to, in my head, how I wanted my music to sound. So shout out, Brent.
Shout out.
And this is Bull Rush.
Bull Rush. Eli Wells, everybody.
6 churches empty on this unlikely Sunday. 6 more days to tame the earth, then leave the sermons to the amateurs. Out in the bulrush, a heron stands on one leg, looks so supercilious as he flies in fear away from us. in the bulrush. Life is good but lonely, you can manage it with zen and forget you ever had a friend. This kind of work, it's easy but it's boring. I've done harder jobs for less, but I had something to come home to then. I want a girl who tells me I know how to dance. I want a girl who tells me I know how to dance. Out in the bulrush, it's music, booze, and mayflies live like shadows in the footlights until we forget what daylight looks like. One night with people who spend every day like this, and quickly I recall all the milk I took in place of gall. Dressed to possess, she looked like a blessing from hell. It feels a bit like flying with your knuckles in the mud. And it's a bit like, it feels a bit like flying with your knuckles in the mud. And it's a bit like, it feels a bit like years passing a minute, but a minute never does. Out in the bulrush, 6 churches empty. Out in the bulrush. I want a girl who tells me I know how to dance.
Eli Wells, everybody. Nice work, my friend.
Thank you. I had a little flub in there because going into the bridge, I was thinking about my friends Amber Banks and Nolan Gibson on the record. They did these beautiful harmonies on that part, and I just... remember that. Kind of screwed it up there.
You got transported into the deeper part of your own song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the, there is some nice harmonies on there. I was going to ask you who did those on some of your recordings. For
Nolan Gibson and Amber Banks. And
nice.
Nolan played some slide guitar on that too. So
nice.
Very grateful for them.
So you've got a good crew, a good musical gang that surrounds you. You do stuff within a band context as well?
Yes, I've got a band called the Well Wells.
The Well Wells.
Well. It's the Well Wells. And I've got a sort of a rotating cast of good friends and reliable, talented players. Every show is a little bit different. It depends on, these days it depends a lot on who can make it to
Availability,
a show. Yeah. We've got some gigs coming up that haven't been announced yet, so just stick to my Instagrams. Can I announce? June 6th, I'll be opening for Ginger St. James at Clifford, right?
Nice.
And
the legend herself. She is the queen.
Very excited for that.
Yes.
And I think we're going to have our biggest band yet there. It might be a 6-piece. I might have to put down the guitar because actually too many people said they were available.
Too many guitar players?
Yeah.
You might just have to just be a front man and sing?
Yeah, maybe I'll try that for the first time.
That'll get
I'm not
weird.
going to know what to do with my body.
Yeah,
but
exactly. I've asked many guitar players who have done that. How the hell do you pull that off without...
be standing there. I might do a little
David
Elvis
Byrne
thing.
just move it around while you sing. Don't actually play it.
I might go for a little jog.
Do some calisthenics.
Yeah.
And you collected these people when you packed up your guitar case and headed to the to the ambitious city, the Hammer itself?
Yes.
Did you hit the open mics? Did you
That's
dive into the
exactly
music
it,
community?
yeah.
Lucaya Cafe, were you
Lucaya
part of that
Cafe,
gang?
that's the big one. Brenna Burns
Yes.
runs this open mic that's completely acoustic, and I started going to that.
Many disciples of hers have been on the show, and including her herself. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an incredible host, and everyone that goes there, you never just go once. It's like they become family very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of us.
Nice, man.
And Sean Fuller, who was on here before, right?
Yep.
He also runs one at Pub 36 just down there in Hess Village on
Monday
nights.
That's a pretty new one, right? How's that going? Do you attend that still? Or
Yep, I go to both of those every week if I can, and that's how I've met a lot of these people.
So it's going strong, the one at Pub 36? It's going pretty good?
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I think it's picking up again now that summer's coming, too. So, yeah, if I can give a quick shout-out to my bandmates.
Absolutely.
So, who I met at Lucaya Cafe, there's Connor Hart, who's also an incredible singer-songwriter. He plays sometimes drums, bass, or I think he might be playing guitar. We've got DJ Thompson on the fiddle. We have my friend Isaac Brown on bass from the band Chubb. Also from the band Chubb is my friend Devin, plays the drums in both my band and in Chubb. And Andrew Bentham Riley, who I also met at Lucaya, also
Andrew
a great singer-songwriter.
He's been on the show multiple times. Has he been on a couple times? Just once, but yeah, I know Andrew.
Very talented writer and guitarist, and I always feel much better going on stage with those guys.
For sure, yeah. Me. He used to put singer-songwriter shows together at the Casbah Lounge too.
Yeah, I did one of those.
Yep.
I wish he would do them again.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, if you're watching.
Wink, wink, Andrew, if you're just listening on the radio. Yes.
Yeah. I just see him at Dungeons and Dragons now. We have a little Dungeons and Dragons campaign going, and that's how I get my Andrew fix for the most part now. Yeah.
That's throwback material there, no? Yes.
Yeah. It's new to me.
Okay.
But for me, it's just a chance to do some improv.
Nice.
I all the numbers and stats are a little over my head, but
get the cognitive skills sharp.
It keeps your narrative juices flowing.
Yeah. What about Staircase Cafe? I saw that on one of your. Did you hang out at an open mic there at one time?
Andrew used to have one a month there. I think they're still doing one. It used to be on a Friday. I'm not sure what night it's on now, but look into that if you're watching, because that's a really cool space.
Definitely.
I did a show there once too, and it's just the vibe there. It's just immaculate.
That was my open mic scene that I came up through in the early, when it first opened in the early 2000s.
Yeah, they got a lot of cool rooms there.
Yeah, the Bright Room is booking music upstairs, and then the theater, of course.
Yes.
The cafe space, but yeah, it's a great building.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good vibes in there for sure. Good vibes, good shows.
Yeah.
And do you still hit the Lucaya on a regular basis?
Yeah, if I can, I do it every week.
Nice.
It's like that's my weekly therapy.
And you bring your new stuff in there?
That's usually the first place I bring it out, yeah. Because it's a lot of people who are tired of the stuff I've been playing by now. So if I've got something new, I'll try to treat them.
And it's a safe space. It's a community bunker, as it were. Like,
absolutely.
You're safe from...
Even if you're not a musician, there are a lot of people who go there just because it's such a great group of people to be around. And Julie makes the best espresso that I know of. I always have a black Americano and some lovely teas as well there.
Nice.
Very, very familial space.
And you're living in Hamilton now, or do you go back and forth still?
Yeah, I just live a few blocks away that way, actually, in Durand.
Yeah. What do you were talking about, ironically, we have Astronox himself, Marcus Stars, on the show.
Yes.
And you did the graphic arts for his record that's about to come out.
Yeah, I did.
You're a graphic artist. You do your own stuff too? And
yeah, I do all my own artwork that you see on the Instagram. This is my first time doing like a big like vinyl release, so I'm really excited about that.
Are you schooled in this? Did you go to college?
Yes, I did. That was my program. My parents were very generous and spent some good money to make me good at graphic design. So
where'd you go? Sheridan?
Niagara.
Niagara.
Which you'll see a lot of references to Niagara in the lyrics there.
Yeah, I saw your. There's a video Niagara too. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
back to Niagara.
Back to Niagara.
My friend Jake Burgess.
Yeah, he did your. I was going to ask you about that. He did your the blues video
Blues
as well
Tonight,
too.
yeah. And
Is this somebody that you went to school with? That he was a videographer?
yes,
or,
he went to Niagara as well. Actually, that's how I also met. He's the singer in the band Chub, which is like a punk band. So I met him in college, and then I met my rhythm section through him, because they've got like a ton of energy, and it's punk music, like it's super high energy, and they just have this magnetism to them where everyone who sees Chub just wants to see them again and again and again.
Yeah.
And they're going to be playing their final show on May 3rd, I believe.
Final show.
Which sucks.
Sounds daunting.
But
sounds ominous. Yeah.
It's going to be a barn burner, I think.
Where's that?
It's-
In Niagara?
I think that's in St. Catharines. You're going to have to look it up. I don't have it offhand, but it's your last chance to see Chubb. So, if
Well,
you
the
like
Who
punk
said they
music
were
at all-
playing their final show back in
Yeah.
'77.
I'm going to try and twist their arm to
49 years later, they're still playing their final show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you want to see them after that, I've got the rhythm section, so come to my shows.
Put Wells, and then in parentheses Chubb.
Yeah, the formerly known as Chubb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keep the Chubb fans on board
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure. So you are you just finished this latest release. How long ago did you put this last one out?
I guess it was a couple months ago now. It was supposed to be part of an EP, and I've got a couple more songs recorded.
Jalopy, are we talking about Jalopy?
That's right, yeah. I've also got one called Baseball and Ballads About Chevrolets, which is going to be the next one. And
That's a great title.
Thank you very much. And I've had that sitting in the can for since November, I think, and I just haven't put it out because every time I listen to it, it's I just need to work on it a little bit more.
It's got to be honed a little bit more.
Yeah,
It's gotta
I'm
be
trying to
sharpened up.
I'm trying to master my own stuff too now, which I know nothing about. So
Yeah, are you when we talk about recordings, are you a self-studio doctor, or do you go somewhere else to do it? Or are you
so for the LP, the Big Heirloom, I went to my friend Brent's house, and he produced it in a farmhouse out in Fisherville. And I had a lot of ideas. I had very complete demos. So I like to work on the arrangements, but he took care of all the sound.
right?
So I'm trying to, both for budgetary and personal reasons, I'd like to learn. I'd like to know that I can do that
Yeah,
to be able to mix and master. So the past two singles I put out, Jalopy and Pobrecito, those were both completely performed and mixed and mastered by me.
with all you have the gear, you have the
I've got a little home studio going. I live in an apartment, so the vocals are always just a little bit hushed.
right. No
but
screamo, no
No,
screamo for you.
definitely not. But it was. I think Gord Downey said there's intensity and restraint,
Yes,
because I think he did some recording in hotel rooms on some of those Bob Rock records.
right.
Which is a tool. It's not necessarily how I always want to do it, but it's what's available to me right now. So
Is the or were the hip? That's funny you mentioned that, because I was, after listening to some of your stuff, I got kind of a, just with your cadence and your lyrical abilities, I got a little bit of Gord Downey vibe off of some of your stuff there, the way you were delivering it.
I'm a very deep disciple of Gord Downey.
Okay.
I've got all his solo records.
Yeah.
I know every deep cut and B-side, and
Okay.
it's sometimes I worry it's a little too obvious.
Well, it definitely comes through a little bit with because it makes it seem like he could always make it seem like it was stream of consciousness, whether it was written or not.
Yeah.
right? That's
I was thinking about that recently, actually, because a lot of times you go on these rants and people.
there was stream of consciousness elements in the show, of course,
Right.
because he would go on those, like the Killer Whale rant and
Yeah,
many more.
exactly.
But
a
even
lo-
within the songs themselves, they seem like
yeah,
stream
he
of
would
consciousness.
throw in things there.
yeah,
And sometimes it was stream of consciousness, or at least it seems that way. But also, if you watch a bunch of the live shows, a lot of times it was the same every time because he was a poet, and a lot of times that would show up in lyrics in later songs.
Right.
So it's if you're able to access that part of you, but then craft it into something.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can retain the serendipity of it.
Of course, yeah.
The way you deliver
kernel of the idea.
I think if you can get yourself to a place with your own lyrics where it feels like it's, I think of it as like the membrane between the feeling inside of you and the music that you're putting out. You want that to be as thin as possible.
For sure.
And that's when the performance becomes the most explosive.
Yes, totally.
I'm always trying to get closer to that, but
the film and the projector.
Yeah.
You got the light, you got the rollers,
and
then you got the film.
And you're trying to not let anything get in the way of that.
The projection is the live performance for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to feel that way about your own music. At least, well, for me, it's hard for me to feel that way about my own music sometimes, except for in small chunks.
Well, if you got it all the time, you wouldn't be chasing it, right?
Yeah.
We can't get these things all the time. We got to get
a
taste of them. It keeps the pursuit
and the craft and the craftsmanship and the ability to have a clinic on yourself and on your own lyrics and be able to turn it into something cohesive.
For sure.
Rather than just spitting things out, which is, I think, more of what I used to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more structured and try to go from like the Gord Downey school to like the more towards like the John Prine school. Or
now you're talking a good school.
Yeah, or the like
Brittany,
the Paul Simon school.
What the heck are you doing hiding over there? We see ya. On that note, how about some more music, man?
Yeah, so
all right.
I'll play something a little more structured and narrative here. It's baseball and ballads about Chevrolets.
All right, fantastic. Eli Wells, everybody.
On the inside of a motel room Bible, I wrote a confessional poem. Somewhere between Rainbow Bridge and Big Pink, I lost all the words to my hometown lament. The I-81 isn't nearly as long as the walkway across your front yard. Somewhere between your mailbox and the screen door, I thought you'd speak up, but it's hard to resent when no one could have known what it meant. When you said there's certainly something I miss, and I'll never tell a soul about this. Your pillow, cooled by the window, you cracked to let the pot smoke air out. I could pick sounds out from each end of town, baseball and ballads about Chevrolets. You put on your shirt and checked all the curtains, turned the television back on. The door hinges moaned with an inquisitive tone. Your shadow cast twice as you hung in the frame, and the moment I forgot I'm ashamed. I work kiss me next time. Why do you sound so sanguine? 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 Having defiled the motel room Bible, I slid it back into the drawer. Somewhere between storage wars and a dream, I forgot what I'd wanted so badly before.
Well done, man.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
John Prine.
Yeah, I was thinking about when I was younger, and sort of now, like we were talking about, I was much more interested in the stream of consciousness and the more the abstract kind of stuff. But more recently, I've realized how hard it is to write something that's really tight and narratively cohesive, like something like Angel from Montgomery. It's such a tight song.
Yes.
There's not a wasted word, and it's not a very long song. There's not a lot of words, but all the information is there.
Get in, say your piece, and get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always think like an all-time great lyric is one that you get a lot of information in just a few words.
For sure. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to work towards. So that was me trying to be narrative.
And it tells like great art. Great art tells the viewer, the appreciator. Good art tells you about the artist. Great art tells the viewer, appreciator about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always thought the last thing I want for a listener to be thinking about is me.
Exactly.
when they're listening.
You
to
know,
my
you've
music.
connected when they're delving into their own human experiences.
Exactly.
And like you say, the stream of consciousness stuff when you're younger, it can be more of a pursuit. But as you get older, and you get arrested a couple times and crash your car into a tree and
I know about
break
one
off
of
with a
those
few
anyway.
girlfriends and break your finger with a hammer and all those other metaphorical things that you do as you get older is fodder for truth-telling, songwriting, and connecting with all the other people that have had pianos fall on them and broke their finger and been divorced
Yeah,
and
for sure.
arrested and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah, try and find some truth that applies to all of us, and
It's
maybe
universal.
even distract from the
from the
cars
whole-
that I've
Totally.
wrapped around poles.
The
and
three
things.
chords and the truth narrative as opposed to making up stories or just making up stream of consciousness kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
like
you
that.
find yourself pursuing that more as you get into your
I
your
think
songwriting
I think
craft?
it takes a lot of skill to be able to have a narrative that is engaging as a story, but also makes a larger point. And I think when I'm doing the more abstract stuff, to me it feels very true, but I don't know that it's getting through that and not that it has to,
Right.
but I'd like to be able to know that I can write something a little more on its face. Something that you can.
Yeah. 3 chords in the truthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think maybe it's time to be a little more obvious. And especially I've written some songs recently that are not my favorite stuff, but it's stuff that I felt I needed to sing.
Absolutely.
And I think now is the time. And it's so hard to not sound like a hack when you're just trying to tell people something and wag your finger at them and say, this is what you should be thinking about.
But we don't want to get preachy, though. You want
exactly.
You want to pierce the.
Yeah.
You want to pierce the psyche, but you don't want to punch your way through it and try and grab them by
You
the
want them
brain.
to get their own way.
On their own, exactly.
So just tell, and I think that's why a narrative works, is because here's examples.
Yeah,
here's
for sure.
something you can, a situation you can think about and draw your own conclusion, and I'm not telling you how to feel about it.
Right.
But some people like being preached to.
Yeah.
And some people like having fingers wagged at them and they go, yeah. And I think that's, to me, as an artist, that's scary, and as a person, that's scary.
Because they're in a cult.
Yeah. It's like, I want people to identify with what I'm saying, and I have been writing more political stuff, and I want people to feel represented. But I don't want people to do what I see them doing for others, which is just, this feels good to say and to sing. If I hear a song that feels good to sing and it says something big, it's not necessarily the truest thing. I'm very wary of anyone who says something that feels really good but doesn't ask you to think very much about it.
Diet Pepsi tastes good too, but it doesn't give you much calories, right?
Right.
Yeah, to take with you. So what? Sadly, we're almost out of time. So you've got a couple shows coming up.
Yeah, I've got June. It was 6, right, Oz?
June 6th.
June
You're
6th
opening
at
up
Clifford.
for the legend Ginger
St. James, and then I'll also be playing with Astronauts and Free Under Fire on July. I believe it's July 11th, the Saturday at Corktown.
Fantastic.
Here. Just in case I got that wrong, check out my Instagram and keep an eye on it for these shows coming up.
And if we're looking for you, we got you on Instagram, Eli Wells.
Eli_Wells_music.
Are you on Facebook as well?
There is an Eli Wells Facebook page. I don't keep it up very well.
Mostly Instagram.
Yeah, check out the Instagram if you can. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You want to play us out? You want to?
Sure, I'll do one more. I'll do. Why don't I do my most political song?
Sure, why not?
One that's shrouded in abstraction and no one can get mad at me.
Fantastic. Put your hands together for Eli Wells, everybody. What a pleasure. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. I'll tell you the way it was explained to me. It's a part of you. The way a bird is of a tree can't be retained nor expelled. And when it's there, you might not tell until one morning you awaken irate to its song. From your dream of violence, just as things were getting fun, and when the spit left on your pillow moistens your ear, as you roll over, you'll know it's still here. Don't start counting just yet. We got a ways to go. There is more rage here than you'd better know. Pilgrims of forgiveness, we got a ways to go on this odyssey back to love. And here's a good dream of violence, another crime in a ghost house on a road that isn't there in real life. All the sexy build-up, the promise of Scooby snacks that makes all your fear worthwhile. Not that I understand and not that I agree. I'm just telling you the way it was explained to me. If there's a shred of resolution, let's take it all the way to bed. And here's another dream of violence. An old-time radio murderous melt in what we called the Courtney Love River. And a careful approach, the attempt to fill the space faith left with hope. If you could just forgive her, don't start counting just yet. We got a ways to go. There is more rage here than you'd better know. Pilgrims of forgiveness, we got a ways to go on this odyssey back to love. Speak the same words, but we can't understand without a heart between our head and our hands. A nice thought, but ultimately a platitude. Speak the same words, but we can't understand what's that you said about our head and our hands. They said just keep your eyes straight and hope the good guys are the ones paying you. Don't start counting just yet. We got a ways to go. There is more rage here than you'd better know. Pilgrims of forgiveness, we got a ways to go on this odyssey back to love. We've got a ways to go. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the great sound. Thanks to everyone in the Cat.
Thank you, Eli Wells,
Famous,
for your appearance. And Famouses on Shake It Up Radio. Here are the Cat and Fiddle. We are live on Canuck Tunes Online Radio. Please do not go away. We will be right back with our own Dave Rave and Carl Jennings with a radio premiere. Do not go away. We'll be back in about 20 minutes. This is Canuck Tunes. All Canadian, always.